Hello, and welcome to today's podcast. This is episode 7 of our Dev podcast, and today's title is about the summer 2019 update, which will include the addition of weapon credits, which we've shared early last week, a week plus ago, and along with that, some very much requested features from the community. Alright, so what's our summer 2019 update gonna look like? It's gonna come out in 2 stages. Alright, so phase 1, which will be the bulk of this update, is expected to drop sometime by the end of June. Following that, the second phase will then release roughly about a week later. This season's update will primarily be addressing a lot of the community requests in terms of in-game support as well as options. So let's get right into it. Phase 1. Now, phase 1, the first thing you will see is that it will include a revamped tutorial with an all-new level design from the ground up. This will feature a brand new shooting range, which you can see right there. And on top of that, there will be an obstacle path for new players to get used to traversing, as well as maneuvering around the battlefield. You will also see some new weapon racks and more to be included to teach players about the basics of our game, as well as maneuvering, shooting, and how to get started as an officer. There will also be upcoming tutorials on commandering, which is to be expected sometime later on. You can also see there's the new racks at the corner there. There's also an armory by the side. So you'll be able to get a good grasp of the distance and range for different weapons. You'll also notice you'll get to directly pick up the weapon from the rack, so you can just pick it up and shoot straight away, and that gives you a much more impactful understanding of what the weapons feel like. So when you go into the game, it won't be so touch and go in the situation. So that's the first big thing. All right. Following that, for our offline players, we will be introducing a new difficulty options menu. All right. This will tailor your experience with how tough and aggressive the AI enemies will be for each match. Now, newcomers, you'll be happy to know you can take your time getting used to the game, and veterans can also look forward to the extra challenge with these tougher difficulties. You'll notice that there's easy, normal, hard, and brutal, signified by that skull in the corner there. So in total, there should be 4 levels of difficulty for each map. Let's see. Antiso has a question. Can both GSF and Exaron use it? I'm guessing this is regarding the tutorial. Yes, it is for both GSF and Exaron. Just very quickly here, I'll go back. I'll show you there is a... Let me see. And where is it? There. As you can see, players will start off at the beginning, and then they'll be introduced to the 2 factions, which is Exaron and GSF on the left and the right there through the holograms. So it will also add a little bit of lore to the world of Eximius Sees the Front Line. Yes, you can look forward to a bit more of lore drops as and when we have new updates. So, you gotta pay attention to the small details. Anytime, Antiso. Alright, so continuing with our summer update phase 1, we will now be then talking about the additions of the online mode. Okay, so for online mode, we will be adding an ongoing PvP game, which will have 2 AIs constantly on standby and at the ready. This is going to be persistent, so whenever a new player jumps in, the game will start, and the new player will then be given the option to either become a commander or play as an officer with an AI commander. This allows other players to drop in and drop out as well, so it will auto-balance between the both teams. This, we believe, is a good move to start with, considering that our online presence right now is still a little bit slow, even though we've been getting some new faces since the spring update. We believe that by adding this, at least for people looking for an online match, solo players anyway, they won't get stuck in the matchmaking process for long periods of time and can instead use the time to practice and play the game against our AI. And when more players come in, they can automatically join and be auto-balanced so that players can play with one another right away. In addition to that, a fix will also be added where an AI officer will immediately be spawned should a player disconnect or leave a game midway. We have received the feedback where in certain matches, when players join and leave due to internet issues, suddenly the game is incredibly unbalanced, where there's like 5 officers versus 2 officers. So this fix will solve that issue, and we hope that our PvP players and online players will have a much better experience moving on from that. Hello, Mighty Toast. Thanks for joining the stream. In case you haven't heard, we just started talking about our summer 2019 update. I just finished talking about the offline and online editions, as well as the revamped tutorial. I can quickly go back to that in a bit. Let me just first finish up Phase 1. The final stage of Phase 1 is the addition of weapon credits. Now, for those of you who have been following our news since last week, you should know roughly what weapon credits is, but for those of you who don't, it's a new in-game feature that will introduce a standalone resource for each officer. Each officer will have their own pool of weapon credits to purchase weapons and upgrades to the armory or the mule, and this will free up the bottleneck that officers and commanders face due to the shared resource of ammo to purchase weapons and also to summon or call in special abilities. So we have been testing this for the past 2 weeks. Our team finds it a very good addition to the game, especially for online players. And we're very excited to launch this for all of you to try out for yourself. If you have seen our previous stream or update, you should have a good idea as to what to expect in terms of the change of speed as well as flexibility for officers and commanders. All right. If you want to learn more about our weapon credits, you can check out our Steam page or Facebook for further details. I'll drop the link for you guys in the chat in a little while. All right. So as mentioned, that was Phase 1, which is expected to launch sometime by the end of June. Phase 2 is roughly expected to follow about a week later. Now this one is a bit on the lighter side because the bulk of it will come in the first phase, but second phase will include a lot of necessary and much requested community features for the game. So what we'll have at first is the addition of a Discord button in the main menu. This will direct you to a web browser window to join our Discord channel, or if you already have Discord installed, you should have it automatically added and you can start using our Discord features where you can chat with our team players as well as the dev team and give your feedback and suggestions. To make things a bit easier for everyone as well, a Play Again button will be added. This button will be introduced at the end phase of every match. So once you've completed a match through victory or defeat, instead of just having the option to see the game world or go back to the menu, there will now be the extra button that says Play Again. So if you would like to replay the match or restart the match, you can do so right away at the menu and not have to maneuver through all of it again. Following that, players will also get the option to pull up a scoreboard during matches to see their stats and performance. The board will also list out all players within the match and their respective teams for easier reference. As of right now, the scoreboard is still in its early phase, but we will plan to make this a definite feature in every match, both online and offline. It should show you the necessary stats. For the time being, we are expecting a number of kills, perhaps a kill-death ratio, or perhaps in terms of score points. That's yet to be fully decided and fleshed out, but it's definitely in the works. And lastly, Officer AI will receive improvements and necessary tweaks. The AI is expected to perform some more varieties of automated actions, and you can expect them to react differently to situations. More details of this will be introduced as well in the upcoming patch notes when the summer 2019 update is fully launched. So that's the second phase, and that will be the 2 phases of our summer 2019 update. Now, on top of that, we also would like to mention that we are working with Global Top Round, known as GTR. For those of you in the chat and in our Discord channel, you may have heard about this GTR name and brand for quite a while. Jeremy has been working quite closely with them, and now I can officially announce that they are an interactive accelerator program for small studios around the world. They've been working quite closely with us, where they have had beta testers try our game, give us feedback on the game as well in terms of different degrees of professionalism, from the average player to more executive and higher up levels. So the feedback has been very valuable, and it has sort of been guiding us towards the kind of developments that we have been making in the past few months. They have also established a presence in Malaysia, and as you can see, if you click on the link with our earlier chat link here, you can see that they are already working quite well with a number of studios, and they are now in Bangkok giving a presentation to get the attention of more industry players. And Jeremy is there right now. If you're following our Twitter feed, you should see a retweet which introduces Jeremy as one of the new speakers at the event. And we're looking forward to working much closer with them so that we can develop Eximius to become a much more fleshed out game during its 1.0 release. Alright, let's see what's that. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty much that. There is also one more thing I would like to add, and this will be coming up sometime maybe within the same span of the summer update or maybe slightly later. In addition to the new tutorial that we have shown you, we're also introducing a new YouTube channel series, which is our how-to series. So there plan to be 5 episodes here, all of which will touch on the basics of how to play Eximius Seize the Frontline, from just the basic menu maneuvering, how to be an effective officer, commander basics, as well as some simple strategies so that newcomers can have a look-see and get a good feel of what's to come. Pretty much what we are heading for now in terms of direction is allowing easier access to the game for players. Excuse me. Because from the feedback we've been receiving, aside from the other essential features that have been much requested, we also find that players are kind of finding it a little tricky to get right away into the game, and that's totally understandable. Hence the revamp of the tutorial and also the added support of these videos which I'm making with the team to allow players an easier time to understand what the game is about, how to play it, and how to get started with it so that they're not blind when they just get the game. We feel that this will add some extra value to the players, and it'll make it easier for you guys as well who are trying to encourage your friends to join the game, to have a guide as to be able to join the game with you guys and, you know, not be so lost or even have to trouble you guys to teach them all the steps one by one. I mean, after all, we made the game, we love the game, we want to help you guys share the love as well. Alright, hi Nixus, thanks for joining the stream. Okay, so Toast, if you're still here, and also Nixus, since you just joined, I will go through the new tutorial stage with you guys, just some pictures here, so you can have a look at it again. Alright, so again, the new tutorial level is basically built from the ground up. The design art team has really put in a lot of work to make it look exceptionally beautiful, in my personal opinion, when I've seen their work. There's a whole new shooting range with distance markers on the top left there. On top of that, a new door, a new setting. The lore of this part is basically both Exeron and GSF officers will go to this facility to receive basic training, basic officer training. So it's actually a neutral company of sorts where they provide training grounds for both Exeron and GSF. You can also see here there are holograms on both sides with terminals that will introduce a little bit more of the lore of both factions. As we understand, some players have been asking a lot of questions about who Exeron is, who GSF is, and we would like to start making an effort to introduce the story elements a bit more in small pieces. Yes, yes, Nixus. With every new update, we hope to be able to squeeze in a little bit more lore here and there. We hope it's not too hard to find. For those of you who really like the game or who are like achievement hunters, I'm sure you'll be more than able to piece together the larger story that's yet to come. Okay, so moving inside, this is actually the beginning of the obstacle course. It will actually give you a free-form option. If you feel you're really good at platforming, you can go ahead and jump right onto the higher ramps there. Or if you prefer to learn how to duck or weave around, oh yeah, it's a little dark. Sorry, the image that I have is a little dark. I'll try to brighten it in the future. Thanks for the comment there, Nixus. But yes, so you can also learn to weave and maneuver with the sandbags at the bottom there. We're also introducing the armory again in this corner here with some weapons on racks on the right side there. So rather than having new players run to the armory and pick weapons, which is a little hard to see as it is in our whole tutorial, here off the bat, you can just pick up any weapon you see on the rack, and just to the right of it is the shooting range. So you can just pick up and play. Like literally, you can get a feel of what the SMG feels like for Axaran, or what the rifle can feel like for GSF, without much confusion. There, right there. It's even noted there, anti-personnel, anti-armor, and special weapon types. So you can immediately identify them the moment you start a game. And there's a shooting range. For those of you who played the old tutorial, you remember those little place markers there. As always, if you can get a hit shot, there's 100% damage. If you get a body shot, it does less damage, and you gotta shoot more bullets with it. There's also a armored vehicle there to test your anti-armor weapons. Nice, like Angel Falls first shooting range. I guess I'm not familiar with Angel Falls. Right. So yeah, so that's a new tutorial. Also, oh, okay, thanks. Just a quick introduction. We have the difficulty options that will be coming soon as well. So there are 4 selections to choose from: easy, normal, hard, and brutal. So for our veterans, we look forward to hearing all your feedback when it comes to hard and brutal mode, especially you, my Titos. We really look forward to hearing what you have to say in terms of the difficulty you'll face. Newcomers as well, please do give us your feedback on easy and normal. We would like to know how accessible it is for you guys in terms of learning the game's mechanics for commandering as well as officer gameplay. After all, we are, again, still in early access. We are working out quite a few of our features as we go along to our 1.0 release, and your feedback is extremely beneficial to our progress and tweaking the game to as perfect a condition as it can be before we fully launch it. Yeah. So aside from that, our summer update again will be launching in 2 phases. The first phase is expected to drop sometime by the end of June. Look forward to that. And if you have any questions regarding the game and future updates, or if you'd like to try the game and talk to the developers to give feedback, suggestions, or to learn more about it, do follow us on our Discord channel. That's discord.gg/Ammobox Studios. You can also follow us on our social media pages at Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And once again, we'd also like to mention that we are working with Global Top Round, GTR, which is an interactive accelerator program for small studios. So do give them some love. Check out their links as well as their social media channels, which I will share later. Yeah, and once again, thank you everyone for joining our podcast. We're very, very thankful to have all of you and your continuous support. Have fun with our game and stay tuned for more updates. And Nixus, thank you for joining. Have a good night. Get some rest.